Come on, Instagram. Go ahead and hit it, Ray. Instagram will catch up.
Yes, Bobby Bones.
Okay, we have finished the show. It is exactly 10:30, so we've been off the air for like half an hour. We are going to do this first half of the post show up until the point where Amy gets an opportunity to talk to the scammer. Now, if you've heard the show over the past couple days, even the show this morning, somebody is claiming to be Caitlin Lowry's manager.
Kaylin. Put respect on her name.
That was not meant as disrespect. I thought her name was Caitlin because I'm not familiar with Teen Mom to the level of you are.
Yeah, she was 16 pregnant, then Teen Mom. But yeah, go ahead.
Thank you. My apologies. So what we're going to do is do a half hour, 20 minutes or so. We will break. You won't feel the break unless you're watching live. If you're listening to the podcast, we'll be back. But that's what we're waiting. Now, Amy's debating if we should use her computer or not. But my theory is it's a real Zoom, right? Is it a Zoom or is it some weird link?
No, it's a Zoom, but I don't know. I just
Mike,
feel
would
like
you mind going and looking at the link?
everything looks like a normal Zoom invitation, or it says, here's the meeting invite, join Zoom meeting, then it has the link, and then it says meeting ID, and then a passcode.
Are we trying to do the whole system, Bones? Like do the kind of the whole Zoom thing, put it through the system so we can record it? We can do that. But if it's a bad link, we're in trouble.
What? That is a great idea.
It's worth the risk.
Say that again, Mike.
If you don't click the link, just use the ID and the passcode to get into it. That way you're not clicking anything.
Oh, good.
That's good. We can do that.
Yeah, I don't know what that means, or was just
Different
said.
It means I'm not going
link.
to click the direct link they provided, because who knows where that will
Oh,
take
you're going to
me.
go to the app.
Yes.
Or the on your.
Yeah,
Okay,
like-
but let's do it on ours then.
Okay.
And can we put it on the big screen?
Yeah, we can do all that.
And then we will be able to record it.
Yeah, just send that to Eddie.
Okay, sending.
Okay. So
So is this real?
we
I'm
don't
starting
know.
to get frustrated.
The beauty
don't
of
know.
it is she gets on and it's Caitlin Lowry and Amy's in the middle of an interview.
And we have it recorded high quality. We're good.
That would be funny, and we'll just walk out of the room and let Amy do the interview because they sent her some questions. But I just think there's no way, since it's a Facebook, they're using Facebook as their main, like, a lot. And the guy didn't send you a link until late.
Yeah, he sent it late yesterday after correspondence back and forth of like, he's like, are you Pacific, Eastern, Central? I was like, I'm Central. He's like, perfect. That works for me.
This has got to be a scam.
He said, all right, Central works for me as well. Further, comma, I'll send you the meeting invite later today. Thanks. And then I got it at night.
Okay.
What's wrong with the further comma?
Who knows? We're gonna do it, and we'll
Sounds like
we'll complete the mission. Yeah. Oh no, it
someone
feels like
who
in a
doesn't
foreign country.
speak that way, trying to be like, this is how they speak.
Yes. Okay, a couple things. Number one, I was home last night. I was able to watch the halftime show on television because we watched it in the arena, and I mentioned yesterday we couldn't hear anything. I really liked it. But I can understand. I don't think it was for the Super Bowl because there are too many older. The Super Bowl needs to be corny. The Super Bowl halftime show needs to be corny. It needs to be corny, as in it needs to be songs that have been hits for so many years that most people know them. I think Kendrick Lamar was a little too cool for the Super Bowl because that needs to be corny. Also, nobody ever likes the halftime show. And it's corny sometimes. I mean, The Weeknd. As far as like current, nobody streams more than The Weeknd. It was slightly corny, and still people were like, we hated it. Everybody hated The Weeknd. When Katy Perry did her thing and like
Left Shark.
Yeah, or Lady Gaga like fell off. It like
What about J-Lo and Selena?
Selena did
Selena
it.
did it?
I mean,
Shakira.
Shakira.
I was saying, man, I've missed that one.
Sorry, J-Lo was Selena.
Yes, the actress.
Here are my thoughts after going home and watching it. But I do think I'm probably a bit more of a Kendrick Lamar fan than the average 44-year-old white guy in country music. So I think that my opinion is based on that. I knew every song but two. One of them I'd never heard, and I was like, well, how do I not know that song? And this is why I think the halftime performance was cool. he debuted a new song. Like, who's going to do that during a halftime show? That song where he's sitting under the street light, that's a brand new song. Like, he did not give a crap if people liked it, is what I found to be ballsy about it. He knew doing it, there were going to be people that did not get it or did not like it. I think it probably made a lot of people uncomfortable, too. They were watching a performance with no white people in it, if you want to be honest. I think there were a lot of white people going, I don't know, there's a lot of black people out there. It makes me uncomfortable.
Oh, okay.
If you don't think race is a part of it too, why people weren't liking it, sure. But also you could just, the people that I could understand and appreciate were people like, I didn't get it. It wasn't my thing. But they weren't like, I hated it. And there's a big difference in somebody yelling, I hate it. And I don't really understand it. It wasn't my thing. Like, it wasn't good for a halftime performance. I don't think it was good for a halftime performance for the Super Bowl because I don't think it was corny enough. I think it needed to be something that a lot of people knew all the songs to. But when people are screaming, I hated it, with really no reason to hate it, I'm like, what is that rooted in? Because I enjoyed it, but even I, again, thought this probably wasn't for mass consumption at the Super Bowl because it is the most watched thing in all television. And for sure, there were some racial elements and some people hating it.
My mom loved it. She
Really?
texted me. She goes, "This is good."
Hey, visually, it was awesome. They didn't use any AI. That was all people doing all.
We watched it.
Like that was all people like doing all the shapes and the American flag and also I just was like, man, he spent all this time just going hard on Drake. That's hilarious. I didn't know he really kept teasing that they were going to go into Not Like Us. I didn't, because we couldn't hear it.
No,
I didn't know they play like, because everybody was like, well, there's a defamation suit against Kendrick for that song. And so they were like, there's no way he's going to play it at the Super Bowl. And so what I couldn't hear was early on when you hear the first, thum, thum, and he doesn't do it. And he goes away. And I was like, that's hilarious. Like Drake's watching going, oh, he didn't do it. And then at the end, he goes into it hard. I liked it as a performance. I don't think that I don't think it was right for the Super Bowl as far as it needs to be the basic, it needs to be the Wiggles or 20 hit songs that are not relevant, that people that are 70 and 13 even know, for people to be happy. And even then, they're not going to be happy. But I did think it was really cool watching it.
Did they show Serena Williams?
That's his ex-girlfriend.
Yeah.
But she was a part of it because she used to date Drake.
Okay.
And Drake,
we didn't see that, Amy. They didn't show.
Yeah, we
her
couldn't
on
see
that.
any of that.
Oh, yeah, but you watched it, later? Not you, Eddie. You haven't seen
No,
it
I
on
haven't seen
TV
it.
yet?
I
Okay.
watched it last night. I saw a clip. I saw like TikTok of her being in it. But that's why, like, there was also so many Easter eggs. The whole thing was a video game controller.
I didn't realize
Oh,
that.
that was the X and the
Yeah,
O.
we picked that out because we had the higher perspective of it.
You
Like,
did?
oh, it's a PlayStation
Never
controller.
saw that.
Okay, I didn't either.
So there were all these little minor things that even if you didn't enjoy it, almost you could be like, dang, that was art. Like, not my thing, but I can see all of the effort and micro artistic vision that was put into it. So yeah, I thought it was super cool. Probably more of a Grammys thing because that's a snobbier audience. But even the Grammys, they would have just acted like they liked it and actually not liked it. And he did a lot of songs from the new album. And again, that's ballsy because it was like DNA. I was going through today. And that album hasn't been out for.
Peekaboo, I like that one.
And a lot of the songs too they were from when him and Drake were going back and forth. It was anyway. I liked it, but I didn't yesterday. I was like, we couldn't tell what it was. We saw him take down the Palestine flag when they took that guy down. That's mostly what we were watching because it was right in front of us on the backside of the stage.
Could you see that on TV?
Nope, never showed up on TV.
Never showed the flag?
Mm-mm. And what was cool too, it was hard for us to see what was happening on the screens down there because they kept turning the screens off behind him, so it'd be completely blacked out. But the other side, the screens were on, so the people in the crowd could see. But they were switching them so fast you couldn't really see by the jumbotrons what was happening down there. We did see the people. I'm an idiot on this part.
This is funny.
We saw all these people going under the stage beforehand. Like they opened up a
hundreds of
people going under the stage, and didn't think anything about it. And it starts, and Kendrick's on the car, And then he jumps off the car, and all those people start coming out of the car. And I go to Eddie, I'm like, how'd they fit all those people in that car? Eddie goes, you just watched 100 people go under the stage. They're coming from under the stage.
They're
I'm
not
like,
in the car, dude.
I'm like, oh, yeah. I'm like, oh,
That
yeah,
makes sense.
that makes sense. So, not that anybody cares, because 2 days later, my final judgment that nobody's asking for is I personally really liked it. I thought it was a little too cool for the Super Bowl because the Super Bowl audience is so wide that it needs to be very corny, and the people still aren't going to like it because they don't like anything, but it's not going to be as openly disliked. And what I liked about it as somebody who creates is that Kendrick DJ AF. Like, he didn't play even his he played Be Humble. That's one of the biggest songs. But he didn't play some of his biggest songs because he was like, I'm going to go out and do exactly my thing. I know some people aren't going to know what's going on, and screw it.
What do you think is his most well-known song?
Probably Be Humble. It's probably
Humble or Swimming Pools.
Yeah. And Swimming Pools is old. But nope. He did a song we haven't even heard yet. That's pretty crazy. So anyway, that's my thoughts. But visually it was awesome. When they were doing the flag, that was so cool. And we couldn't really see that from up there.
I guess we had a better vantage point.
Yeah, what flag? What flag? What do you mean?
The people.
All the dancers, when they turned
red,
into the
white,
flag.
and blue.
Oh, they were doing the...
We were behind
Yeah.
it on about the 40-yard line. And the screens weren't good because they kept turning them off and on so they wouldn't get on TV. You guys were on the other side looking right down on it.
Yeah, we could see the whole field, and then whenever they switched the screens, I would just look the other way, and I could see everything happening. Like I saw when, like, Sam Jackson was down there. I saw everything.
I asked my wife, too, without any leading her into knowing that I couldn't really hear anything. I said, what'd you think of the halftime show? And she's a massive SZA fan. And she's the reason that we listen to so much Kendrick Lamar and mostly SZA. She was like, I thought it was awesome because I'm a fan of, and she knew except for the one song that wasn't new, she knew every song. And so I was like, it was cool on TV. She was like, yeah, visually it was amazing. And if you knew the songs, you loved it. But again, I don't think enough people that watch the Super Bowl gen pop in Iowa and Florida and California and age 7 and 73 knew enough Kendrick. That's my final stance on it. That's not even a stance.
Your opinion.
Thank you. And you know what? I deserve it because it's America.
It's yours, man.
And yeah, Serena was dancing because, you know, Serena's brother was shot and killed by the Crips?
What?
Oh, I remember that from the movie about their family on HBO. King
Richard.
King Richard.
And she must hate Drake so much that she was doing the Crip Walk on stage with Kendrick. And the A was a small A minor.
A minor. I got that part. Well, you had to explain it to me while we were watching it.
Little nuggets.
I'm sure there are 100 nuggets we don't even know yet that went into that thing. Okay, so there's my opinion and my stance. Although I'm not really standing on anything. It's just my opinion. Do we want to bring Jason in? Scuba?
Yeah, he's coming, yeah.
I'm going to tell you, though, I looked at that
You should watch it.
No, I looked at that Zoom password. It looks different.
Does it?
Does
Yeah,
it?
it looks different. Let me do a little research while we do this interview.
So we're bringing Jason in. Hey, Jason, good to see you, buddy. Hop on over there. So this is Jason Arendt. Remember we told him, this is him in person. We
Yeah.
never met him.
Oh, no, we've only seen you on
Oh,
Zoom.
yeah. Yeah, there you go.
Oh, yeah, we did
dude.
see him on Zoom.
For a little bit.
That's why he was familiar looking.
Yeah.
So Jason called us.
See a ball player? You're a ball player.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, used to be.
Yeah.
Still.
Oh, you're still playing? What year are you then?
Well, I'm not in college anymore.
Then what are you playing?
So
Are you Savannah Bananas?
I kind of teased that a little bit.
No way.
But I couldn't announce it fully because it wasn't
But can you announce it now?
out yet. So I'm on a brand new team in that organization that it's like based around a band. So I'll be like singing and playing left field. And
Wait, hold on.
Wait, like a parody baseball team?
We don't
Like
want to
the-
get you in trouble.
No.
I don't know.
I don't know what you can say.
Like that banana team?
Yeah, it's the same thing.
Okay.
It's like we'll travel and play against them and
Gotcha.
all that. And
That's cool.
There's like
I
4
s-
teams now.
I see those
so.
clips on.
They're
Yeah.
they're creating a league of that entertainment.
Mm-hmm.
Dude,
So
that's
like
all?
this year, there's like a championship league, and
Really?
we play like winner take all.
Bobby's
type
like, can I
stuff.
sponsor?
Well, I watched the guy that started that. I watch him do talks, and he talks in all yellow.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Yeah, and just his vision behind it early on, and it's the Harlem Globetrotters of baseball, and baseball generally, like Major League Baseball, has never been less interesting to America. Like the ratings are so down, but the Savannah Bananas what they're showing is if you put something entertainment on the field, they sell out
Oh yeah,
baseball stadiums.
I'm pretty sure every game so far is going to be or is already sold out.
How did you end up did you audition? Did you say I can play ball and sing or what?
So my senior year of college, I was still playing at UNC Wilmington, and I was playing shows with my band at the time. Like we were kind of traveling around North Carolina and playing and putting songs out at the same time, and that kind of got a little bit of attention going, and they caught wind of it, and we're like, okay, this would be a cool angle to add a new team that does that into our system, and so that's kind of how it worked.
So what is your team? Can you say your team name? Or
Yeah,
anything?
so we're the Texas Tailgaters, but
That's fun.
so it'll be cool. It's kind of like the styles like outlaw, baseball, country, tailgates.
What do you do?
I will be playing outfield and then lead singer for the team band.
So
Awesome.
what does that mean, team band? Does it play before, during, after?
Yes,
Okay, all.
all three.
How do you play during?
So it'll be like, if you want me to be honest with you, what they told me is this has never been done before, so
We'll figure it out.
we'll figure it out as we go.
That's cool.
But I know that we'll have sets before and after each game, and then it'll be like probably little things in the middle, like I'll come in from left field like singing when I hit or something.
Will they let you still play shows while you're out?
Probably not. I mean, we'll play Friday, Saturday every week pretty much, so it's not really wouldn't really work into that system. But if we have off weeks, maybe.
So it starts in May 24th, 25th.
Mm-hmm.
Albuquerque versus the Party Animals.
Yep.
So like the Party Animals, there's you are playing the Savannah Bananas.
Mhm.
There's the Firefighters.
Yep.
Do you know what each of their themes are yet?
The Party Animals is wild. I mean, them people get wild for the Party Animal games. The Bananas is more like the Yankees of the organization. And then the Firefighters is kind of like, it's still new. Like last year was their first year. So they didn't really get to do what they would call them headline games. And that's where it's like your show. And so that's kind of where you fit your mold of the style of game that you're playing.
So, okay, just to rewind for everybody here, Jason sent a video into the mailbag of him covering a song way, way, way back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
And
In Color
then-
by Jamie Johnson.
Yeah, and so we played it. We were like, yeah, dude, there's something there. And then he called into the show like 2.5 years later to say he had 3 songs out. And so I was like, dude, change your name. He still hasn't, so good for him. Only because it has a cool name, but it's Arendt, and it was like, if you make it, that's going to be cool because it's so different. But there are also going to be times where people are like, I don't know how to say that. Or if it's like jasonarendt.com, that's going to be hard to find. We kind of weighed it.
Yep.
We weighed it. And so he then sang on the phone, which never turns out positive because the phone doesn't sound good, and he still sounded good.
Yeah.
We did a Zoom interview with him because we featured him on the Country Top 30 for his song My July. You are playing shows, so Valentine's night and the 15th, you're in Charleston, South Carolina. No, Greenville, North Carolina, then Charleston, South Carolina.
Yep.
So you're playing shows before the season starts.
Yes. So I'll play from this point forward pretty much every weekend. We'll be on the road until like April 1st is report day for spring training. And so that's kind of when I shut down, but I'll play every weekend up until then.
Did you have to sign anything? Can you, after the season's over, you can still play?
I can still play.
Okay. So it's just, you just can't play mostly because Friday and Saturdays you're playing baseball.
Yeah, exactly. And I'll be gassed. I mean, we're going to be doing a lot, so it'll be hard for me to get outside of that to play.
Are you playing much now?
I'm playing a lot right now, twice a week, Fridays and Saturdays, kind of wherever we end up going for that weekend around the region and kind of moving out and getting down and around and trying to cover different spots that I've been before. And we've seen a lot of uptick in people coming out that have been before, which is really cool to have people come back, and then people singing songs back to you is really cool. And that's something that I've started to experience too. And like requesting songs during your shows.
Did anybody randomly that you knew hear you on the countdown and like, what the crap?
Yeah. So you guys will know this name, Carolina Roy.
Oh, our caller.
Yeah, so I
That's
was
his
at
dad.
no.
Okay.
So I was at a Brett Young concert because my mom is like the biggest Brett Young fan you'll ever meet, and we went to that. I had an off night, so we go to that, and I'm standing there just like waiting in line for popcorn, and this dude comes up to me and he goes, "You're Jason, right?" And I was like, "Yeah." He goes, dude, I'm Carolina Roy. I call in all the time to Bobby Bones. I was like, that is the craziest thing ever.
We know him.
Unbelievable.
That's funny. We don't even know what he looks like, do we?
What does he look like?
No.
He's taller. Good looking dude. He's funny.
We've tried to set him up with, well, everybody. We tried to set him up with everybody. Was it a difficult decision for you to go, or how difficult was the decision to go, okay, I'm not going to tour for 3 months or 4 months to play baseball whenever it's been what your focus has been?
So it really wasn't a hard decision when they laid it out the way they did, because they kind of told me, they're like, all right, our fan base is multi-million people all over the country, all over the world. And if you come do this with us, I mean, you're going to get to do what you already do just on a bigger stage. Because we have a full band. I'll get to play all my songs in every set.
And you get to say your name.
Yep. My name is on the front of that for my band.
They're not like,
team.
Jumpin' Jack Jason, here he is. Like,
Yeah,
they know
exactly.
it's Jason Arendt.
Mm-hmm. So it's kind of it was almost a no-brainer. And the other things that are coming with it is like, kind of like you talk about with fail until you don't and that kind of stuff. That's Jesse's like motto is, like try new things. If it fails, like learn from it, take it the next day. And so they're the best at creating those unique moments for fans that people take home and live with forever. And they'll never forget you because of that moment. And that's kind of my thing as an entertainer is, how do I create those moments for every fan that comes to my shows at every show, that someone goes home and remembers that forever. And so I'll get to learn from the best of the best on how to do that and create fan bases the way they have.
And also, I mean, you still got to take BP.
Yep.
You still got to practice.
Yep.
Is it exciting to get to continue your ball career a bit too? Or had you kind of already resigned the fact that it's over after I'm done at Wilmington?
Well, I had kind of resigned it. I had hung them up in my head. I was like, I'm cool. Once we got towards the end of the year, I had almost kind of checked out because I was like getting ready for everything that was coming. And then that call came in and I was like, I guess I could still play a little bit. I guess, I don't really want to hang it up. Nobody wants to hang it up as an athlete. Like, you never want to say, okay, I'm done with this. But, you kind of come to that realization sometimes, and it was a false realization, I guess, and I took it and ran with it back in the sport.
That's super cool. It's a big pivot, but it's one that makes sense organically. Like, you are playing ball. You are a singer. Now you get to play ball and sing.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
It's cool. It's something that not very many people get to say they have done.
Would the goal be to make it to the Bananas? Like, would the team? I don't know if that's, if you're killing it with the party animals, or like, hey, we're gonna call you up to the Bananas because they're the known team right now.
Mm-hmm. I wouldn't say that would be as beneficial for me because they don't have like a team band. It's not really focused on that. Their whole team motto is different, and so I kind of get to be in the center of the band. So our band is made up of baseball players on the team.
The whole thing.
The whole team,
got it.
Or the whole band is made up of guys on the team. And so it's kind of this cool aspect of, we got a bunch of baseball players who play instruments. Let's put them together. So I'm excited to do that. And I wouldn't say I want to be on a different team because that's my style.
We're going to come back with Jason in just a second. We have to break for a minute because we're trying to catch somebody scamming Amy. But we're going to come back with Jason after the break. So let's shut everything down, and then we're going to try to catch this scammer, and then we'll be back in a few minutes. Everybody good?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.